It's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. Today we have a question from Spiral Eye who says, how do you feel about the Karate Kid remake? If you already answered somewhere, sorry, just curious. If you don't have time to answer, just ignore again, just curious. Be safe. You don't have to apologize for asking me questions, dude. And I was listening to a podcast yesterday, the Lex Friedman podcast. Love that guy, super interesting guy, man. I would love to have a conversation with Lex one of these days, man. A lot of people tell me, Ramsey, you should go on Joe Rogan's show, and that would be awesome. But if I could pick like one big major podcaster out there to talk to, I would like to talk to Lex. He's an interesting dude. But the reason I bring him up, he had this guest on, a woman. She was a scientist. What is her field of specialty? Space exploration, something like that. They're talking about the technology of space exploration. Super interesting podcast. But this woman, unfortunately, I don't remember her name. And I loved the content, but the way she worded it, her tone, every sentence ended with a question mark. And I was like, you're an authority on this subject. You are a competent authority on this subject. Speak like it. Stop ending your statements with question marks when they're not questions, when they are clearly assertions. And it was just eating me up like, come on. Anyway, don't apologize for yourself. Own your space, own your language, whether it's spoken, written, etc. Don't end your statements with question marks. But the Karate Kid remake, you know, the one with, what was his name? Will Smith's son. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I didn't hate it. It was kind of interesting to see because it took place in Beijing, and I saw it after I'd been living in China for a few years, and so it was kind of interesting to see like Hollywood's version of what an expat's life is like in China versus what an expat's life is really like in China. Hollywood's version of what Kung Fu is in China versus how Kung Fu actually is in China. And, of course, like everybody else, I'm like, it's called The Karate Kid. There's zero karate in this film. Chinese Kung Fu is different than karate, okay. But moving past that, I'm glad the movie exists because it got Will Smith involved, and he's now producing Cobra Kai, which is awesome, and everybody loves that. So, if it wasn't for the Karate Kid remake, we probably wouldn't have Cobra Kai, so, you know, bonus. I didn't hate the movie, but I didn't love it either. Compared to the original, I will tell you the original is superior, and here's why. One simple reason, and one simple reason only. So both movies hit a lot of the same beats. And it's not because the remake hits a bunch of the same beats as the original, and not because it's kind of a copycat sort of movie in that regard. No, that's fine. I don't care. If a beat is good, repeat it. Keep going. Boom, 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 boom. That's how beats work. If it's a good beat, you like to hear it over and over again. But the original Karate Kid Part 1 will always be superior. Here's why. Because it tells you the truth about one important thing. And that is the importance of getting out there and training, and the result of getting out there and training. So, about halfway through the movie, Daniel LaRusso sees Mr. Miyagi practicing the crane kick out on the dock on this stump by the beach. He's doing his little thing, balancing. He's like, Mr. Miyagi, what is this? Crane kick. Do right, no can defend, or something like that, says Mr. Miyagi. And Daniel spends the rest of the movie doing this training montage. You see him day after day practicing the crane kick over and over and over again. And he stumbles at first, but then he gets better at it and better at it. And throughout the movie, he's practicing this technique. And then, in the finale, in the climactic fight at the end, he pulls off a win by using the crane kick, this technique he's practiced throughout the entire movie. Okay, that's a true principle. You will perform the way that you practice. That's a true principle. Let's contrast that with Mr. Smith's Karate Kid remake. the one with Jackie Chan. So, Will Smith's son, don't remember the character's name, we'll just call him Will Smith's son. He practices various techniques with Jackie Chan, takes off the shirt, puts it on the floor, picks it up again, puts it back on, etc. He goes to a mountain and sees a snake charmer charming a snake, and he looks at the snake and turns his head all goofy, and that's the end of the scene. And then in the final fight, which is supposed to be reflective of the previous movie's final fight, he beats the bully with a cool technique. A jumping backflip kick. What's wrong with that? It looked cool. Yeah, it looked neat. But what's wrong with that is he never trained it. He never practiced it. There was no training montage of Mr. Smith doing the crazy backflip kick. We never even saw him learn it. It was never taught to him. He just magically knew it all of a sudden. That is not a true principle. They lied to you right there. That's a lie. Martial arts is the pursuit of the truth, as I always say. Is it going to work? Is it not? Are you going to win? Are you going to lose? And we got a lie right there, and that's not cool. I hated that. So, be honest about your training, my friends. I'm not saying go out there and practice the crane kick every day, but get out there and train every day. Thanks for watching. Hey fella, looks like you could use a rash guard. What for, you say? Well, they protect your skin against mat-borne illnesses, mat burn, and they make you look incredibly cool. But where do I get a rash guard from? Hey, have you heard of xmartial.com? Yeah? Then what are you waiting for? Check them out right now. xmartial.com has all kinds of rash guards, from sleek and simple, novelty, badass designs, and more. Channel your inner Japanese cartoon rat monster. Express your love for bad puns and kitty cats doing iconic jujitsu moves. Hey, that panda's gonna hit the other panda with a folding chair like a pro wrestler. And this one makes your right arm stand out. xmartial.com, serving your needs beyond just no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, find brand new equipment for mixed martial arts, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, and more at xmartial.com. As always, use my code Ramsey10 for 10% off everything on the website. Once again, that's xmartial.com. Rash guards, spats, shorts, and more. Links and discount codes in the description below.